Hello, everyone, and welcome to another frantically freezing fiesta. Chronologically, chromatographically, your muscles cryogenically, I screwed that all up, choreographically and chaotically, crap shooting of icicles and push pops while dancing with the devil, a.k.a. Mr. Make You Feel Good, a.k.a. Batman's coldest archenemy, a.k.a. Mr. Freeze, a.k.a. Uncle Gary, episode of the Days Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm. I was wondering where Uncle Gary
seizure.
was going to come into play there, you know?
I just had a seizure halfway through there, dude. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, honestly, dude.
I think
I threw too many big words in the intro. That was the problem, so I just seized up.
Yeah, I just think Tourette's is in the air today or something.
Yeah, dude. There's Tourette's and just a lot of anxiety, just a lot of like PTSD flowing in the air, dude.
It was a full moon.
Yeah, it is. But without don't let me slow this train down. Thomas, hit with the intro.
Joining us this week in the Days Grimm studio, Cryo Precision Repair. Did I say it wrong?
Beautiful.
I said it right.
Oh, you did say it wrong.
Is it Cryo?
Cryo.
Did I say Cairo?
We're gonna let the
Not Egypt.
I'm terrible at this. Wow. New podcast host for hire for the Days Grimm.
You're like
going out there.
You're like
failing, but Jeremy and Suzanne.
Golly, yes. Suzanne, not Susie.
Right.
Or not
Susan.
Not Susan. Not Susie. Suzanne. Like Roxanne, but way less racist.
Wow, we are struggling.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm feeling good. Duda just got some cryo. He got a facial just a minute ago, everybody. And you know what? There's a good vibe in the air right now. Like, I feel better for you, Duda. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel energized. Your endorphins are inside me. That's what I'm getting at. Also, lesbian table tennis. Can we talk about that just real quick? Are we gonna start a league or not?
When we get rich?
No, I'm talking bare bones, baby. We just buy a table, and we just get a whole gang of them, dude. And it just be on like Donkey Kong. What do you think? Are you in on that?
In the warehouse? Sure.
Whatever, dude. Corey, you gamble on? Would you gamble on that? I gamble on that. He'd gamble on it. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And all athletes are welcome. So, none of that Olympic, freaking, go ahead and, none of that Olympic controversy. You know what I'm saying? All athletes are welcome. But anyways, yeah, so welcome to the studio, guys. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Fantastic.
That was a huge, long intro, dude.
Happy Easter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has risen.
Easter.
He has risen. Also, we're recording way in advance, so these guys listening right now are like, oh, happy Easter. That was like 9 months ago. It's Christmas, bro.
No, it's not going to be 9 months.
No, but
That's
yeah,
crazy.
Happy Easter to everybody in here.
So are you guys from the Evansville area?
Yes.
Both of you?
Yes.
Born and raised here.
Dang, dude, that's something special. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's good.
I love this town, though. I really, really do. There was a long period of time that I hated it.
It's good to see people that were born here and then they start and do something here. They try to keep it.
Yeah, absolutely. I've moved abroad, lived in Gillette, Wyoming and stuff. Kind of cultured me a little bit.
Sorry, we're trying to adjust your mic real fast a little bit. But so you were abroad. We don't want to get too carried away into abroad and talking about all that.
Give them a quick summary, guys. Tell me a little bit about what y'all folks are doing out there and whereabouts, what side of town are y'all located on, the business?
So the business is in Newburgh. We're in Warwick County.
Shout out Warwick County. Property taxes out the fucking roof. What's up, dude?
They used to be cheaper.
Yeah,
than
that's
in
how.
Evansville.
Not the case anymore.
And you guys are right there off of the Lloyd and 261 area, right?
We are out close to. We're off the Lloyd, closer up towards Alcoa.
Okay. And how long have you guys been at that location?
About a year.
About a year.
Yes. We started the business just a little over a year ago.
And it's been going smooth.
It has its ups and downs.
But it's going.
It's going. It has great momentum
And
right
it's
now.
growing.
Yes, and it's growing. It's something that's very new to this area, so
Right,
it's taking a little bit of education for people to understand what we do. It's such advanced technology that this area has never seen
And
before.
it's versatile,
Very
vast
versatile. So much that it can do.
Well, let's roll into this death of the week before we get to. I have so many questions and I can't ask them yet before death of the week.
Oh, dude, it's about to get a little sweaty. So, Duda, spin that shit. This week's death of the week. Wrong one, you got it, dude. I believe in you. That's what matters, dude. I believe in you. This week's Death of the Week brought to you by Corn Dog Development. These super sick coasters that we show off every week. If you don't buy one, I'm going to send my brother Corey to your house, and he's going to come talk to you. This week's Death of the Week, we're going to talk a little bit about cryotherapy, guys. In September of 2014, this reporter tried cryotherapy as a part of a larger report on the emerging longevity techniques. On the recommendation of TV writer Honi Marchirico, a self-described walking billboard, I visited, this is the individual talking, I visited the Cryo Healthcare in La Cienega Boulevard, one of the most commercial cryotherapy clinics in the U.S. Essentially, this technique came from abroad. It started in Japan, went to Europe, and then from Europe it came to America. Now, Duda, if you could do me a favor and scroll on up, click this window here, and scroll on up. We're going to roll into up. Yeah, go ahead and go to the top. Okay. Yeah, right here. Down. All right. The horrific death of a cryotherapy attendant trapped for 10 hours inside of an isolation chamber chilled to minus 240 degrees, that's Fahrenheit, has sent shockwaves through Hollywood, where the experimental cure has all grown exponentially in popularity among actors, athletes, and entertainment types. Age 24 was discovered on October 20th inside a tank at the Rejuvenice Spa in Henderson, Nevada, a Las Vegas suburb. According to one account, she was found by a co-worker frozen in solid ice. That's a direct quote. The Hawaii native had stayed past closing hours to subject herself to a session which should never exceed more than 3 minutes. Bitch was in there for 10 hours?
That's insane. First of all,
I wanted to, let me explain myself.
that's what I was going to ask.
It originated, the cryotherapy originates in Japan, is what the article reads. And that's why we started at the bottom and went to the top. I wanted to basically give you the origins of where, or at least this article from the Hollywood Reporter came from, what they're stating to be the origins of cryotherapy, and then go to the death. Again, you are gone and also forgotten.
Until we remembered you
What
today.
in God's
But that's what
name?
you were reading this article, and I was like, she had to be an employee. That's what I was like. That was my first thing. When you started reading it, I was like, only an employee would try to do something after hours and it mess up and nobody else be there, because surely there's safety precautions, I assume, when you go. I haven't gone to a standing tank, so I wouldn't know.
A lot of difficult words to say in there. Also, I'm not a fluent Hispanic speaking male or Spanish. I don't do Portuguese or Spanish or Egyptian. Those are my top three that I don't do. But yeah, that was tough for me to get through that. I like her last name though. I won't say it again because I got to beat all these names out. But yeah, intense, man. So she stays after hours, gives herself a session.
Trying to be Han Solo.
Yeah, solo dolo, the Hans type, and then locked herself in, I don't know.
Have you guys ever done one of the standing tanks?
Like an actual tank?
Yeah, we've been to a standing tank, and it should never be
supervised,
never done
right?
Unsupervised.
Solo dolo's
Yes.
out the window.
Yeah, that was wrong, and it also explains why insurance for this industry is so expensive, because this one event, I think, has, affected how the insurance companies look at what we do. And, Duda's had the cryo that we do, which we don't use a nitrogen tank. That was a nitrogen tank. And they're far more injuries and the risk of death, obviously, if you stay in the tank too long.
Mm-hmm.
But as you can see, what we do with Duda, it's always supervised because we're holding the tool and
localized cryo.
Yeah, the localized cryotherapy versus the tank.
Well, and I think the localized thing, it comes in like major like benefits to it, because like you may be sore, but like only sore in one area. Like Brian and I have been doing nothing but like squats and like, nothing but squats for like, Brian's been doing it for months now, and I've been doing it for like 1 week now every day. And like my groin, like I did something wrong, and my groin was sore for like 3-4 days. I was just like icy hot, ice patch, heating pad. Brian just mans up and rubs some dirt on it. But
also a little bit of table salt goes a long way too, man. Be honest with you, dude. I have dialed down my leg days now. I'm like strictly focusing on my cardio. Did you already say, I'm going to be honest with you, I tuned you out a little bit. Did you say we're training for a triathlon?
I did not in this episode, no.
We're training for a triathlon. Oh, now that they know that, all this kind of makes a little more sense.
Which one?
Caltri Indy in Rockford, right? It's the town west of Indianapolis. Nice. So it's like an out of city county run. So
it's done at like a state park.
So you have to do all the events then?
Yeah,
it's
you
not
gotta
like a marathon.
No, and it's Olympic too, so it's full.
You swim a mile, you bike 23, 26 miles, 26. And then you run 6.
Oh, that's hardcore.
Yeah, it's pretty stiff. I'm gonna be honest with you. Not looking forward to it.
Yeah, hats off.
Yeah, and
it's not great.
Yeah, I don't know why we did it.
Yeah, but so I initially wanted to get my leg strength and my core strength as buffed up as possible over the course. I did the leg day thing for like from let's say November to like just like a month ago. It was a long time that I was only training weights with my legs. That's it. Like every now and then I'd throw something else in, but it was just like leg. It was awful.
He looked like he was suffering from like polio.
Wait.
Yeah, for real. Like I had like spina bifida or something. It was just awful. It was terrible.
A good cryotherapist that can help with that recovery now.
Now I do.
Right. That's what, when we come back to town and we can't walk because our hammies are tied up.
Yeah.
I joke about the table salt thing a little bit, but in all seriousness, though, we did an episode 654. I'm spazzing out on the number right now, but ISO floats. Are you familiar with ISO floats on the east side?
Very.
Josh.
Yeah, yes. Josh is the one that was nice enough to take time out of his day and come on the show and speak with us a little bit. And he had a lot of good information. And I'll tell you what, I don't get into the sensory deprivation part of it, which you do. It trips you out. It's a trip.
Definitely recommend it for anybody out there that hasn't done it.
100 floats on me.
Really? You got some miles. I got like 5. You got some miles though. Yeah. But your body, dude, all that Epsom on your body, like when you're in the recovery phase.
Magnesium, best way to pick it up is through your skin.
Beautiful. It's so great coming out of that tank, dude. So great. I don't care for the tripping, like spatial proprioception stuff, but like you definitely get a lot of that. So
that's the best meditation.
And I said they were on the east side. Psych out guys. They're on the north side. They're over on First Avenue. So give them a look.
CVS.
Yeah, behind the CVS. So
tell them we sent you.
Yeah.
And so you guys were both born here in Evansville. What was Evansville like when you guys were growing up? Because like we're a little bit younger, so like I always like to get the perspective.
Neighbors. There was families that was tight. Now you don't know your neighbor.
That's true.
It's a metro area now. It's turning into, and I joke about this all the time, but I really do think that like every time somebody gets stabbed in Evansville, population goes up by like 20. So it's like you see more and more of this crime happening and stuff, but like that's just part of the gig. All this more and more construction, just part of the gig. Like we're turning into I mean, we've been the third biggest city in Indiana for I don't know how long,
for
a long while,
long
and
time.
it's just extrapolating, and we're just growing and expanding.
But I do feel like a lot of people I hear about when they talk about it is like everybody in your neighborhood was actually like a neighborhood. You know, you knew everybody. Everybody would come
we
over
knew
to
all
like
the neighbors,
different cookouts, or you were always doing something with the neighbors, or your sub community and inside those areas. I feel like. So,
yeah, your mom used to send you outside, right? And tell you not to come home till it gets dark,
right,
or till the street lights come on.
Yeah, it was
Street
street
And
lights.
it was literally like that.
Street
we
lights,
rode
man.
dirt bikes. We, got to
right.
have all the fun.
I had this neighbor, dude, talking about know your neighbors, because I was still in I was born in 90s, so I was riding my bike around in like the early 90s, you know what I'm saying? So like it was pretty chill. Rapists were probably just on the up and coming at that point in time.
A lot less
child
Catholics.
molestation. Well, the funny thing is, I actually grew up right around St. Agnes Church. Shout out to St. Agnes, dude. I think they're no longer doing mass anymore. But yeah, for that big population of Catholics there, there's minimal kitty touching that I was aware of. But anyways, I would ride my bike all until the street lights came on. And then basically, mom says, come back when the lights come on. I'd always go see this one lady. I'm not going to say her name. I won't say her name, but there's this one lady a couple of houses down from me. Me and a gang of kids would just show up at her house all the time, and she was waiting for us. And she'd always have cookies and brownies and stuff. And the more and more, when there was out of control numbers of kids, you'd hear it, oh Lord! She'd get all amped up if there was a whole bunch of us out there. And then we'd just get free brownies and cookies all the time, dude.
So then she would send you home to your parents all sugared up. And
All
be like,
sugared
yeah,
up.
here you go.
Yeah.
This is why I don't have any kids, but I'm going to hype yours
Cracked
up
out.
and send them home.
Yeah, bro. So yeah, I miss those days of neighbors knowing neighbors. But yeah, you bring up a good point. It's really not like that anymore.
No.
And so you think that's the biggest difference in Evansville from when you were small to now?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I said, the crime rate just seems continuing to grow too.
Oh yeah, it's bigger and bigger every day, honestly.
So, going up from Evansville, what high schools did you guys go to?
So I'm an East Sider. I went to Harrison High School. Graduated from
okay,
Harrison.
okay.
Yep.
Campbell County High School, Gillette, Wyoming.
Oh, so you were born here and then you moved away?
Yep, 1990 I graduated.
How old were you when you moved away from Evansville?
12.
12. What was that like? Because I moved around a lot when I was in Evansville and young, and I moved from one school to the next school to the next school to the next school, and then
Right.
in elementary school I went to Indianapolis and just boom, a whole new school system. They were way ahead.
Did you feel like a transplant?
Oh yeah, and nobody there clicks with you right off the bat, and I don't think I had any I went there in third grade, and I don't think I had any legit friends until I had been there for 4 years before people were like, okay, I know this kid, I might hang out with them.
Yeah, it was easy to pick the wrong kids to hang out with.
Oh yeah, because you just especially when you move somewhere, it's almost one of the first groups of people that accept you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And most of those people are out there.
So you moved out to Wyoming when you were 12. I got to ask, because I'm going to ask the question that everybody's got on their mind right now. Did Thunder Rolls just hit the airwaves and your parents were like, we got to go be cowboys?
No. No, it wasn't.
You look
quite
like somebody that gets down on some Garth Brooks, dude. Some G Brooks. You know what I'm saying? Is that you?
Yeah, no.
You don't mess with the G Brooks?
Can't sound much country. I'm
All
more
right,
of
guys.
a,
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Days Grimm. This
Whatever.
interview is now over. No, just joking.
Get out of here. Nobody likes
Thunder
country
Rolls?
in this room but you.
I know, dude. I'm trash.
So that's
In my defense, I grew up in a trailer park, though.
You
So
don't not like country.
Oh,
You know,
okay,
that
okay.
is-
country's all right. I know who it is, but
come on, only cowboys live in Wyoming. That's what's in my head, at least. Somebody's lassoing
Yeah, I
a
got
baby
what you're
cow or something. I
yeah,
don't know.
majority of all the radio stations out there definitely play the Garth Brooks and the more country. The dance stuff never happened in Gillette, Wyoming. Gillette, Wyoming was so far from the times. They just stayed in their time.
That's what I was going to ask. What was the difference? Going from here where Evansville probably then isn't what it is now, clearly, but it would still be a completely stepping back, 10
Man,
years?
culture shock.
Right.
Yeah. It's like moving, over to the north side of Evansville from Newburgh. Oh my God.
Right.
And I don't want to lean too heavily on you, sir, but I do one more question about one. So, what I guess made your parents
My dad was a coal miner. He moved out there with Amax.
Amax?
Yeah.
I don't know who that
Surveyor. Coal industry. They I don't know how big they are now, but they were without doubt one of the leaders of the coal industry, and he had 35, 40 years with him, it seemed like.
Wow, and that's a tough industry. And a lot of people...
It's tough. It's good money, though.
Well, we had somebody on a few weeks ago that was hopped from coal mine to coal mine because they did a lot of layoffs. And so, like, I wonder if there was a layoff here and then the job opportunity came up out there.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
12,
something
I
like
didn't
that.
know.
So they like closed down this mine, that mine from West Virginia, I believe is where he was working, Virginia. We were living here, and we had a chance to be together instead of doing the runabout from state to state, which is what he was doing. So, put us all in one place, and Gillette, Wyoming was where we landed.
And then for you stayed in Evansville?
I was actually born in Washington, D.C.
Oh, when did you move to Evansville?
All right, now the stories are changing. The stories are changing. What's happening?
I was born
here,
here at least.
Dude, this relationship is starting off on a foundation of lies.
It's all lies.
Nothing in life is real. Money's not real. There's no gold behind our currency. I don't know what's going on. So you were born in Washington, D.C.?
I was born outside of Washington, D.C. My dad worked for NASA, and my mom worked for the Department of the Interior.
Oh, my God, dude. You're a brainchild.
Yeah,
I'm immediately... Intimidation factor has gone through the roof tenfold.
Okay, so side story, on my dad. I love to brag on him.
Amen.
He worked on the Gemini project when he was in... when he worked for NASA. He actually wrote the algorithms. He and his team, he led the team that wrote the algorithms that did the countdown. So the algorithms that would check each of the...
out of here, dude.
Yeah, check the engines, check the coolant, check, how it used to do the check.
Yeah, all the wiper fluids
and that's
stuff.
nuts for...
Seatbelt.
Yeah.
Whatever it checked. Yeah, that was my dad.
That's nuts though for somebody. So like your dad for technology, algorithms. That was like new to him because like computers and stuff were like not the same.
So both my parents went to Indiana University. That's where they met. He was in grad school. My mom was she was an undergrad. They met, and NASA recruited him. They were looking for. He was a cartographer. Learning maps.
Oh, okay.
And so they wanted people that had the ability to, to map.
A genius, essentially, is what you're saying. They just wanted a really smart fella.
And because he was able to map, that's the same as, creating an algorithm or a flow chart, something like that. So they recruited him. They took him out to Washington, D.C., and that's where,
That's sick,
myself
dude.
and my siblings were
it.
born. But, we later came back to Indiana because that's, where our roots are.
How old were you when you guys moved back to...
I think I was 4 years old.
Oh, okay. So you didn't really know much about DC.
No.
This has to happen. I'm going to force this. This is just let it. Thomas, just sit and take it. Aliens, dude. Where are we at? Come on. Does he...
We
don't
wonder.
cut me no bullshit. No more lies.
I don't
This is
know.
all truth. This is all truth. So you got any good like UFO stories or alien, like he touched one time or something?
No, because my parents divorced, and that's the reason that we came back to Indiana. My parents divorced, and my dad went on. They at NASA sent him around the world actually to develop these satellite stations that would monitor the
signals.
The spacecrafts. And he would go around the world to make sure that the satellites were all working, that the algorithms were working. I didn't see him a whole lot after that. I saw him, during the summer. So I didn't really even know what he did until about 10 years ago.
One of my best qualities about doing this podcast is just making sure that people relive the most horrible moments of their lives. So, sorry, my bad.
No worries.
That's extremely interesting, though. You both have like a really, really intriguing like backstory. So now, so you come back to Evansville at about what age again?
She said 4. So
4.
At age 4. So I essentially grew up here. That's why, when you asked me, was I born and raised?
Right.
I was 4 years old whenever I came back to
she was raised here. Well,
yep.
We'll let it slide this time. But future interviewees, Take notes, guys. All right.
So what do you guys?
I'm just trying to here to help you with your process.
No, God bless you. So you're both in. So okay, you both go to your respected high schools, and then eventually.
Well, when do you move back here, Jeremy?
Oh, I moved back here for about a year when I was 26, I guess, 27.
What brought you back?
My sister actually pushed me away at the same time. So I dipped in, dipped out.
Oh, dang.
And then I went back to Gillette and kind of hung out and then kind of moved around for a little bit, trying to find my path. And that's where I did fall.
So you explored just all over, basically, just
Salt
lived
Lake
up.
City,
What
Junction,
were
Colorado.
what were you doing at the time? I know you said you like bikes.
Oh, yeah.
So were you, my grandparents were big bike people.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I know a lot of the bike people hang out in, like, the communities, especially, like, around here, there's, like, 2 or 3. But, like, even my grandparents, they would talk about, like, going to, like, bike drag racing was a huge thing.
Right. Sturgis, South Dakota was only a few miles away, 90 miles. 100 miles ain't nothing, you know.
Right.
And graduating from high school, that was always fun, you know. Go over there, hang out where a million people are, come to party.
You ever get a chance to spend any time in El Paso, Texas, by any chance?
Have not been to Texas.
You're fucking lucky, dude. All right, dude. Next question. I was just gonna see if you enjoyed that shithole like I did. I lived there for like 3 years. That place.
Where do you think was one of the most interesting little time sprees that you spent in a place?
Oh, probably Grand Junction.
Grand Junction.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And did you ever hit that little stretch where there's like really no speed limit, technically, kind of like in the United States? I mean, it's like
You mean
so
Montana, where you pay $5
like the
for
salt
wasting
flats or
fuel
whatever?
ticket? No, they had them shut down while I was living there.
What are we talking about?
They have this area out in like there's like the salt flats or whatever, but there's like it's like there's kind of a road, but then like sand and stuff also goes on the road, but there's like no speed limit out there. But then there's also
ruts
like
from the racing across the salt flat. So they closed it down because it was rutted up. So many people, it got so popular that they had shut down for a couple of years.
Oh, damn. Okay, that's interesting.
So the next closest thing I would say is Montana. Whereas, as long as your tires are good, it's a $5 wasting fuel ticket for flying as fast as you can.
In Montana,
Yeah.
is it just like no holds bars? Like you can do prostitution out there and like drugs and stuff too, or or is it just speeding?
Not the cartel.
Okay, I just got to ask. Well, see, now I was down in El Paso near Juarez, Mexico, and dude, I'll tell you what, I'm pretty familiar with some cartel. That's why I asked, though. I got some buddies that were wondering. But so you get back to Evansville at about what age?
About 30.
About 30.
Yeah.
Solid. So
Married.
So you came back married?
Yeah.
Where did you meet that young lady?
Out there in Gillette, Wyoming. Serendipity.
And you guys got married and came back to Evansville?
Yeah, after we stopped off.
Oh,
in
it was
Kansas and
you.
stuff.
No,
Oh, it was not you.
no.
Oh,
No.
this
It was
story.
not me.
This is
Yeah.
It's not
this
me.
is a curvy road.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Got-
is.
Let me
got three-
hold on. Let me buckle my
Oh,
seatbelt,
man.
dude. I'm
How much
fucking
of this
ready.
story you want to know about?
No,
this
no,
is
no.
just cryotherapy.
No.
No, but honestly though, so you come back to so you come back to Evansville permanently now at 30 and married that with a young lady that you met in where?
Gillette, Wyoming.
Okay.
Gillette, Wyoming. Okay, so then from there.
Well, let's switch over
Oh yeah.
and
Sorry.
catch up the other timeline.
Yeah, there's a huge gap there. Yeah, now that we're 30.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
So you get done with high school.
I get done with high school.
What do you do?
So straight out of high school, I had kids young, early, and just basically raised kids. Tried to go to college through that
Single
time.
mom grind.
Yes, and it took me a little over 20 years to finish college, but I did.
Hey,
Went
no.
to USI.
There you
graduated
go,
from
dude.
USI.
Hey. That's all that matters, dude. It all says the same on the paper.
And yeah, I mean
Amen.
my mom, like she, had me and my sister and I, and she had to work like 2 jobs and like do 1 or 2 classes at night. So like I understand and respect the grind. She works for a huge medical company
Hell
now,
yes.
making like 6 figures. You know what I mean? So she's like she's made it in the way from the grind. So like that's an appreciation. Like that's
So I knew, at a young age that I wanted to be an accountant. I loved accounting, took it in high school, and it was like, I found, before that it was always math.
There's something wrong with you.
And so I made it. I finished my degree, wanted to do that for my kids, and
it's the
I'm
brain
a
from
CPA.
the dad, the algorithms, it's genetics, good with numbers.
What I found myself in as I went through my career, since we're talking backstory here, I went through my career, I sort of gravitated towards technology. He was a computer programmer, and I found myself, being pretty savvy, tech savvy at computers.
Picking up programs fast.
So
quick to learn.
Yes, being able to, implement software.
And so at this time when you're being an accountant, that's a lot of sitting down, right?
Oh, yes.
And so I'm sure that there's some pains that develop with that throughout the process and everything along that.
Indeed. Oh, yeah. I'm still recovering from those years of being accounting, because literally you're chained to a desk.
Yeah, I'm a jeweler by day, and so I sit at a bench most of the day, and thank God for the Apple Watch, because it tells me to stand up, every hour. So like anytime I get the reminder, I stand up. I'll like walk around the room. I'll go to the bathroom. I'll do something to try to keep that going. And as well with the triathlon training, I'm trying to get my abs in shape. So that's part of the process for my mentality.
I don't know.
Leg lifts.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. A lot of legs and getting my.
No, he's saying leg lifts, like when you lift your legs.
Yeah, I've been doing that too, like the scissor kicks, the plank scissor kicks,
Yes.
and planking with a weighted ball and going from side to side. But the only downside to that is now every time I cough, my abdominal region hurts way worse.
Do you pee?
No, I only pee really when I do the long stamina bikes and stuff.
Yeah, he's like
when I'm 20 miles in on a bike, I feel like I dribble a little.
Yeah, he's like the great and powerful leader of North Korea. He doesn't have a pee hole or a butthole. He doesn't pee or poo.
Yeah, I'm so small that my body just takes everything I put into it, and
you work so hard, you burn all your energy, is what it is. It's like everything you take in, it's getting burned off. So why would you have to poo or pee?
Right.
Yeah,
he
dude.
sweats it out.
Exactly,
right.
dude.
Yeah.
That's what the sauna and the steam room is.
So hard. I've heard David Goggins talk about how hard he worked, and he peed at one point or another.
Yeah.
When he was,
he said he was pissing blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And it's easy to lose track of that. And I know from experience, I've never pissed blood, but like when you get so dehydrated that your body is literally like burning fat to use for water for your cells. Like when you get to that point, your piss is just like, this is what it looks like. And then blood is just not that much farther off than this, dude. Right. So like for real, like I understand where he was at in a way. Obviously he's way more badass
like Goggins.
than I am,
but oh yeah.
Have you read his book, the Don't Hurt Me? See, I don't have I do so much. I don't have a lot of time to sit and read, but I'm a big audiobook guy.
Love audiobooks.
Especially when I'm sitting at a bench all day and I'm grinding out on whatever, and I can throw an audiobook in, because I used to sit there and listen to music, and I can listen to music all day, any day, but I need some knowledge. I need to be gaining something else while I'm doing this task that I've learned to do to an extent of mindlessness. And I needed something to fill that time. So I listened to Goggins' book. I listened to Wim Hof's book, which is about the cold. Yeah, and then I combine those two, you know what I mean? And if there's ever a time that I'm not feeling a workout or whatever, I put on some Goggins, his book or whatever, and I'm like, don't,
for some motivation.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Man the fuck up, just push through it. I know it sucks and it's gonna keep sucking, but fucking grind.
Yeah, dude, put that pain in a chokehold. You know what I'm saying?
And then Wim Hof, just breathe. Even before the episode, for our listeners that don't know.
Oh yeah.
Jeremy suggested a nice deep breath a few times.
Yeah, Jeremy, you're a Wim Hof fan.
Absolutely. Wim Hof is amazing.
He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
When did you find out about Wim Hof?
He's the Iceman.
I would say sometime listening to podcasts with Rogan a long time ago when he was first couple of hundred shows, I think.
Oh, wow.
When Rogan was fresh, so 6 years, 7 years.
Wow. So
damn.
Yeah.
That's deep.
And so were you already into the cold then?
No, but I did start shutting off the shower to end my shower with cold there for a while. It's really impressive. It does do good things, much like other things that you do for yourself.
Did you do that before or after that episode?
It was during, I tell you what, the cold sucks though.
I hate the cold. I'm a small dude, you know what I mean? Like I have like no body fat. So, when I'm in the cold, I have like 8 layers on and I hate it. I like all the time, even like it's 50 degrees outside and I'm wearing long underwear, like,
right.
and tall socks. And then I have like a shirt on and a sweater. It's 60 degrees outside.
Yeah, you look like every kid in line for a coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah,
what I'm getting at is, actually, the funny thing about the cold, dude, I love the fucking cold. I love the cold. My wife is like the polar opposite. Her perfect vacation is like Florida on a beach, blood boiling, margarita in hand.
Yes.
There's probably some like super buff dude like rubbing her down with oil. It's not me. And then where I'm at in my mental headspace, like the perfect vacation for me is like bunny slopes in Wyoming, listening to G. Brooks callback. But I love the cold so much that even when I was a kid, I would get in the bath. I saw the movie Titanic, right? And I was like, I remember them emphasizing in that movie, like the cold water, like how cold it was. And when I was a kid, I would get in the bathtub and just fill it up with cold water. And then I'd pretend like I was in the movie from Titanic. Yeah, dude. I was like swimming around in this ice cold water, dude. I'm like a little baby otter.
I didn't hear about Wim Hof until he was recently on Rogan, like at the start of the Corona. And Wim Hof came on around that time. And I was like technically in like this weird layoff period. And I remember hearing it, and I was like, how much ice do I got in the freezer? And so I just took that ice in the freezer. I filled the bathtub up with the coldest water that it had.
That is cold with ice. That
and
is.
I dumped
cold.
it in there, and then the deep freeze had gone wild. So I went out there and shoveled some side off the deep freeze and threw it in there. And I got in there, and I like put on the Wim Hof book, and like I found this section where he's like talking about his breathing, and he's like, in for 5 seconds, out for 6, and like just doing that and to like kind of lay down. And and so I just started doing that, and then like I like set a timer for like the timer, and it went off. It was like 3 minutes or something, and I was like, oh, I can do more than 3. And I like did it for like 5, and then I stood up, and like all my skin just was like red. But then like when the blood started to flow back, dude, I was on cloud 9.
Yes,
cloud 9.
Get your endorphins going.
Not to be mistaken with cloud 8 or 10. My question, so what do you think, let's just do a mental exercise together about Mr. Wim Hof. And then like clearly folks like Wim Hof and Goggins, I mean, clearly they were born to be serial killers. I'm just convinced like they're just psychos. What do you think one of Wim Hof's beat sessions looks like? You know what I'm saying?
He does beats all the time.
No. I mean like a masturbation session.
Oh.
What do you think that's like? That's got to be dark, right?
I can't even go there.
Yeah, I don't know that we should, but that's all I'm thinking about this whole time. I'm like, if that's what he gets happy on, like, okay, then what's that look
Wim
like?
Hof's an animal, though. Like in his book, he talks about like sex and stuff, and just like
he touches on quite a bit.
Talks about all of it. Dude, he lived in like literally almost damn near, it wasn't a cult, but it was like a love fest like group that like
a love fest group.
I mean, it was basically like a love cult of like and like low key, honestly. That like if you were to explain it to somebody, they would be like, that's a love cult.
Cult.
It was just like a commune of people that like took care of each other and everything
cult,
like that.
Dude.
That's yeah.
Commune is a fucking synonym for cult. You can't define fucking.
So, anyways, where did you guys meet in this process?
So we actually we met a couple of years ago, and we've been together ever since.
Had you heard anything about cold like stuff?
So I hadn't. I'm a CPA. I'm an accountant. I worked at a local financial institution for years, just nose to the grind. Worked 70, 80, upwards of 100 hours a week sometimes.
Shit.
And finally walked away from that. And, I started on sort of my healing journey at that time. And it was, during that we just happened to meet each other. And he introduced me to Wim Hof. He introduced me to David Goggins.
What, before we touch on you and when you met Suzanne, what was it like to pull the trigger and back off from your job? I know a lot of people struggle with that. That's like that's a very fun, like that's a long thought process that you had to come to. And what made you take that cut?
So there was a long drawn out project that I worked on at the bank that I was at, and it required that type of commitment for over 5 years like that. And I was just burned out. I was just literally tired. I was not bringing my A game to work anymore. I was.
And what's the project? Just out of curiosity, what do you mean project in particular? Is it
an implementation? Let's call it a software implementation.
Okay, gotcha.
And a whole development of a brand new department. Created a department, the policies, procedures, created processes,
government affairs that tell you, we need to watch this.
Yeah.
That's what that is. You have to live by their red tape.
Yeah. So she worked for the NSA is what it sounds like.
But they found out that her dad worked at NASA.
No, they never knew.
Yeah, and then back to aliens. No, I'm just joking. Okay, so and then you got. So I wanted to.
So I needed to take a break and walk away from that because it was it had become very toxic for me.
And how old were about your kids at this time?
Most of my kids were grown at this time.
And so you had a little bit of money saved so you could afford to take the time to heal.
I did.
Wise woman.
Smart
wise
with numbers.
Woman.
I stepped away to.
She's an accountant. You know what I'm saying? Okay, but first off, how fucking ironic would that be if an accountant, like a CPA, was just like, yeah, I'm fucking walking away. I'm done. 2 weeks notice. Bow. And then oh shit, I've got $5,000 in my bank account. You don't even think it through. You know what I mean? Just that, the irony, the situational irony of that would blow my mind. If you told me you were homeless right after, I'd be like, what is life? What's going on anymore? But of course you were set up. You were good to go for a while.
I was good to go for a little while. Yeah.
What were you doing for the healing process? I see you have a crystal thing dangling. Were you into the quartz and stuff along those lines?
So not at that time. Not at that time. I've sort of gradually moved a little bit more in an esoteric direction. Started doing yoga because I was very much overweight at the time because when you work that long, you sit at a desk for that long, obviously you're going to gain weight.
Well, you look great. And the cryotherapy.
Thank you.
I said that right?
Cryotherapy.
You're
crying for cryo.
But I was going to say
it's like he's not even trying at this point. He's like, K, conundrum. No, you're not even there, dude.
But I was
you're
say,
not even there.
Even with what you guys did with Dudah's face, you know what I mean? Like looking at both of you guys, you're flawless. You know what I mean? It's.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Were you I'm sorry, I'm busy.
I was complimenting them.
Complimenting
their
complexions.
Yeah,
you guys do have really nice complexions, by the way.
So another thing for me, at least for my story, and you can talk to Jeremy about his story, his backstory is, I was overweight. I stepped away from work. I had the ability. I had, had a little bit of savings, was able to step away and do that, and started yoga. Met some really fantastic people, got to work on a project that was funded by the Gates Foundation for a couple of years. And, just really went through, some healing. I have a sister who is a Reiki master.
And that's specifically yoga, correct? Reiki
is energy healing.
Oh, okay.
So,
a yogi is yoga. That's right.
Yes,
and then a Reiki is what again?
Reiki is an energy healer.
Okay. Tracking.
So, and, she's sort of was my inspiration for that, sort of walking through that. But at this time, I would say for the last maybe 5 years, I had a younger brother that was in pain. He had hip pain. I don't know, where he got it over the years, but he was in pain. And he obviously, went drug seeking for, a remedy for the pain, because that's
like the
the paradigm.
The pharmaceutical route.
Pharmaceutical, yes. And he got he had doctors to prescribe him some pain relief medicine. It shut down his kidneys, shut down his liver.
Mm-hmm.
And he did pass away. He passed away 2 years ago.
I'm very, very sorry. But also, I got to take the moment. I have to take this moment to say I fucking cannot stand the pharmaceutical industry, just at large in general.
Have you ever watched Dope Stick?
Yes.
Have you watched Dope Stick?
I have so much angst towards pharmacology. So my wife is going to school to become a nurse. So pharmacology is literally A1, day one. You're in it.
Yeah, it
balls
is. That
deep
is
from the get.
Yes. That is the only paradigm that's available right now. The medical professionals, that is the only thing that they're allowed to.
What are they supposed to do? Their hands are tied.
Yes.
That point being made. So no disrespect towards nurses or even doctors.
Precisely.
Where my disrespect, I wish I could like hone my disrespect. Actually, I know that I can. Folks like Pfizer, like eat shit, because they're just synthetically creating a neurotoxin or whatever it is, some sort of composite that's going to go into your body. And will it cure? Okay, you can't feel your right hand anymore. Okay, cool. So now my surgery is going to heal on its own and I can't feel the pain. That's dope. But also, boom, now you're a heroin addict. And it's just like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, there's a better way. There's got to be a better way. Like, there's got to be a way to taper on and off or...
Well, the cryotherapy actually numbs. So, like, post-surgery, that'd be a good time to come see us.
And we're going to dive into that. Let's wrap this timeline
Right.
up.
So, Jeremy, tell us about things that transpired to you meeting.
Well, I fell, and I found the sensory deprivation tank actually helped me a lot.
Shout out to Josh Gray at ISO Floats, crushing it.
Like a physical fall or just like a
physical fall. Daughter was 4. I was walking her out and holding her on the ice steps, fell, and man, my life changed.
Did you landed on your spine and like slip
Absolutely.
a disc or?
Well, I didn't go get checked out. I picked myself up, pulled myself up by bootstraps, and carried myself.
Daughter
on.
is fine, by the way.
Yeah, daughter.
He saved his daughter. Yeah.
I like how I was the only one that was concerned about the baby at this point in time. But no, I'm just joking. It's like, my back was killing me, man.
It took me about half an hour. They probably should have called an ambulance. I probably should have went to a hospital, got checked out, so forth. I didn't do any of that. I went to a chiropractor, and that is so forceful. I tell you what, it's not such a good thing, any of them. Acupuncture's good, and then you got like stone therapy and stuff, but that ISOFloat is.
I just don't want to. I don't want to confuse Thomas. So he said chiropractor.
Okay, yeah.
Not to be confused with cryo.
Okay, but the chiropractor is like a legal drug dealer, and the simple fact that they line you out.
Oh my god, bro!
I don't think they can even prescribe.
Going, dude? Where are you at right now, bro?
Hear me out. They line you out, right? And they get your back all in order, right? That shit falls out and they know it's going to fall out. So then you come back. You come back to get more every single time. But like the more and more and more and more you do it, you're basically going to have to end up going back like every other day because your shit's like, oh, it's out and it fucking hurts because you're a bitch and you didn't get used to it.
And then that's how you wind up looking like FDR. Okay. So no. All right. So then you fall and you're in the chiropractor game.
20 years.
20 years you're getting that adjustment made, just like going in, going out, going in, going out.
Yeah.
Really?
Off and on, yeah.
And pain meds to boot, probably.
No, I
pain
refuse pain meds.
Amen.
And so when did you first float? So you said you floated and it changed your life.
Absolutely. I don't know. It was shortly after Josh and Andy opened up. It was probably within a 6-month span of them opening.
And did you hear about that from Rogan?
I did. I went looking, much like how some people find us. They go looking for something alternative. And sometimes we're, the right timing of serendipity works out.
And I love the movie, by the way. What's his name? Just crushed it. What was his name? Serendipity.
Oh.
Cusack crushed that movie. John Cusack. Great movie. Check it out, guys. Serendipity. But no, yeah. Are you not familiar?
No.
Oh, you got to watch it.
I think
you got to watch it. It's right up there with The Notebook. Yeah. It's right there with The Notebook. Oh, dude. 90s, eat your heart out.
Okay.
90s, eat your heart out.
Right? Serious left turn here.
It's just an you said no.
Right? Like, what the fuck, Brian?
Bro. He said serendipity. And the name of the movie is Serendipity. So, like, guy finds girl serendipitously, and then they fall in love. And it's a very good movie. Watch it.
Whenever you go into float, I'll say this. It allowed me zero gravity. you're buoyant in there.
Mm-hmm.
Your spine actually elongates, and if you do the Wim Hof breathing method in there,
I haven't
that'll
tried.
change your whole game, brother.
Really?
Start it off with that.
I'm
go
going
back.
in there.
It gets you in that.
Start breathing hard, hold it. Breathe hard, hold it. You know, you lose count in there.
It gets you in that weird float state, and you're just there.
Weird flow state.
Have you told Josh a little bit about that? Have you guys spoken about the Wim Hof breathing and stuff?
I think I have, but I don't know that I told him that I go in there.
That's a conversation
really
I wish I could have heard.
Puff down, you know.
Yeah.
And then stretch myself out.
You ever have like a so like when Josh let us float a few times to experience it, and I remember one of the few times I was in there and I'm floating and I'm in that state. I had done some Wim Hof breathing, you know, and I'm there.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And I'm not even touching the sides. Like I figured out my position
like he's
shit.
there and he's also not there. Like he's absent.
Yeah, bro.
You
like,
lose your body.
That's
You
exactly
completely
where
lose
you
your
need to
body.
be.
The only thing that you've got is your mind.
and
if you practice some mindfulness, you're able to get into a state of meditation while you're in there. You know, you can have breakthroughs.
Some of the Bob Proctor stuff that's out there and Joe Dispenza, really places where your mind is supposed to be as you meditate and in there.
I didn't mean to interrupt your story, by the way, but you got.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say like
you got in the zone.
So yeah, like I'm in the zone. Like you don't. It's so dark in there. You don't know whether your eyes are open or closed. Like I would want to leave my eyes open because I'm like, man, I want to see some shit. And then I'd be like, it doesn't matter. And I find myself and I'm like, are my eyes even open or are they closed? But anyways, I'm in this zone state.
What fucking day?
I'm
is
in this
it?
zone state, and I swear to God, I heard a train go by.
Oh yeah.
And I got out and I was like, yo, Josh, like, are there train tracks by here? Like, I thought this was a sensory deprivation chamber.
No,
like,
bro.
you know what I mean?
No,
and like,
bro.
I heard a train go by. What, you know, why did I? And he was like, bro, that's your mind. Like, just playing, you know, again, Brian said he thought he heard like a police siren.
Yeah. When I went, dude, it was like a real brief.
God bless you.
Thank you very much. I was waiting for my moment to shine. Every time you open a beer on the show, you have to say God bless you. But yeah, no, when I was in, dude, I remember it. I can't remember if it was the first or the second time because my memory's so bad. But yeah, it was like a distinct police siren. And then in the same float, I thought my phone was going off, like vibrating. But it was on airplane mode and like no way I could have gotten any kind of notification. But it's so weird. And then you get in that spot. And then it's like a moment passes, and then the music is being cued inside the chamber, and you're like, "What the fuck is like? Is this like
Time warp?
Yeah, is this Inception, dude? Is this life even real? Like,
So
I gotta tell you, I did a double one time. I went 3 hours.
Yeah.
that's ballsy, dude. That's a ballsy strat, and I appreciate you.
Did
for
it go
that.
fast?
It seemed like 20 minutes.
And you leave there? I remember one of the last times I floated, and like we hung out, and like Brian and I went together, and then like we were hanging out with Josh a little bit afterwards, like 15 minutes talking and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
And they were like, dude, like, don't get pulled over because you look fucked up. Like, I was just so zinned out, man. You know what I mean? Like, Brian's like, bro, you look like
up, bro. You were G'd up.
I don't even,
So when you come out, you're like still floating.
Yeah.
yeah. But I was gonna say, have you ever? So this was before, or
Well,
had you guys already met?
He introduced me to the sensory deprivation
Okay,
as
so
well.
you were like on this path of like finding yourself in like a whole new way, and then you meet and bring your girlfriend into it all. What was that like for you, Suzanne? Not knowing.
And first off, I don't appreciate the term girlfriend. Even I know that she was a girlfriend at this point in time, but let's just say like love of his life.
Lover.
Exactly.
Lover is also derogatory. You're not nailing it right now. So, so at what point in time did you bring the love of your life conscious to the fact of the floating? That was
Or
your question,
even,
right?
Well, I was asking like Suzanne how much difference it was. Like you're dating somebody and then like, do you drop all this on her at once or was it gradual? You know what I mean? Like,
There's only 24 hours in a day, and we're alive throughout consciously 16. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had these sort of deep conversations from the very first minute.
wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
awesome because like I feel like so I got to know my wife now. We've been together. July 4th will be 7 years. So we're both very slow at dating, just in general. Like I'm slow in general. I don't learn good. My point is that like, so we didn't necessarily go like dump the clutch full throttle, like 68 Camaro on the drag strip. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of wish we would have because I feel like we would have placed
I think we sort
better
of,
faster.
Yeah, I think that's
But
sort of how we did it, because COVID happened not too long after that,
and so when you guys hadn't started yet, right? When COVID happened,
but right before COVID.
Okay,
right.
So before that, when do you start hearing about this? Because I don't want to say the name wrong, so I'm calling it this. But when do you start hearing about this and get into it? You know what I mean? Like,
okay, so
when did you guys start chiropractic?
Like business? Okay, I was looking at the floating industry before I went to float.
Okay,
and with that, I kind of brought the idea, and we discussed possible bringing a little bit more to the float scene.
Call it the float game, if you will.
In Evansville, not that Josh and Andy were doing bad or anything, but I thought there was more to add to, especially for the lunch time individual that wants to come in, and that's the only time they actually get to take a breath. The time that you have to take a breath.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hurry up, let's go. I got 30 minutes on lunch to knock this out.
We were actually
exactly.
looking at a dry float situation, because you guys know that wet float, you have to take a shower before or after, and it's just time consuming. So somebody that has 30 minutes and could meditate, and that's the only way that they can meditate, we were looking at that. And it ended up to where we ended up with this tool.
Yeah, we started some due diligence on, I have to incorporate the business jargon that goes with it. So we started the due diligence for a business.
What does that mean? I'm very slow.
Due diligence meaning you start looking at putting together a proposal or a plan.
Oh, okay.
You start doing RFPs, requests for, pricing on, the different modalities.
Okay.
So we were starting to check them out.
Okay.
Buildings, whatnot.
And this is all done officially. So your due diligence is like there's a paper trail and like right. That's what the due diligence is.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So that dry float led us into this cryo tool. The company actually landed that tool that week.
Damn.
So all my mishaps throughout my life. They did a scar underneath my arm. It reduced by 50% in 10 minutes.
That's gnarly, dude.
Yeah, the cryo. They did this tool that we use today. We went down for a demo that day. We were looking at the dry float. We were looking at all of their modalities.
Yeah.
For our vendor, and he volunteered to be a subject for the demonstration, kind of like Duda,
much like Duda. Mad respect to Duda, the producer. He's over here getting his face done up, dude. And we're gonna show that video here in a little bit too.
Yeah. Actually, Duda, when you finish that snap, we can roll into.
Are you done being a damn Gen Z over here, dude? We get it. Your face looks good, dude.
Hey, I'm letting him get it out there,
Dude, he's
Let
like
him
trying
shot his stuff,
dude.
He got a new facial, He out here got to show it off.
Yo, Duda and I were talking about Asians the other day, dude. He got himself an Asian. Well, I think he's got an Asian girlfriend.
A little Asian persuasion going on.
No Asian girlfriend, but he's just thinking about it.
No, Duda's on the market. Duda's on the market. We are pimping Duda out.
Yeah, we're pimping Duda out for the show, guys. If you're looking for a hot date, we're going to post his...
He's looking really good, too.
Yeah, dude, he's looking solid. Actually, we're going to snag a good headshot tonight. Is that cool? All right. Duda, without further ado, will you sling him on that motherfucking show and tell?
And then pull up that video.
Yeah, let's hit him with that show and tell music. Brought to you by Cryo Precision Repair today, guys. And we're going to pull this video all the way up there, Duda. Pull this up. There you go. Go all the way to the top with it. Up. You got to pull it through, dog. Get it in there. Come on now, man. I thought you were the expert, bro. Get it up. Oh, it's not happening, dude.
It's okay. We can do it on there. Can you make it full screen? We'll just play it there.
Yeah, just play it there. And then...
So it starts off kind of sideways, but I think it reverts.
Okay, yeah, and we're watching it sideways, but... Oh, that's aggressive. Yeah, cut the audio. Cut the audio all the way out. Oh no, that's not going to work. That's not going to work.
So anyways, can you guys kind of... So we're showing it on screen so the viewers can see. But if you just want to kind of walk through... You're setting up this tool. It's a hand tool.
Localized cryotherapy tool.
Okay, and this thing is using, you said not nitrogen?
CO2, negative 85 degrees.
So what's hitting Duda's face is about to be negative 85 degrees?
And hold on a second, we're actually having a little bit of a technical difficulty. Go ahead and pause that real quick, dude. Make it small, minimize the screen, and then do me a favor. Yeah. Just hit escape. Hit escape. Escape. And then we're gonna make this work, guys. We're doing this all on the fly right now. There we go. That's why. Okay, we got it figured out now, guys. And you're recording the screen, and we're gonna go. Where'd it go? Oh no.
It's in the background.
Right. Oh, okay. Here we go. Golly, dude. We're learning as we go, guys. Welcome to the Days Grimm, the shit show that never stops. Okay, now walk us.
So I'm using the smallest tip, and that's part of the reason why we call it precision. We can get in on just the acne and not hurt anything else. As long as we're treating the spots themselves, and as you see, I'm bouncing around with the tool.
Yeah.
Try and get to the scarring and the acne itself. If you hit just those spots, 30 seconds, man, it's life-changing.
It can make a difference.
And it can be
so quickly
used more for just faces, right? So it can be used for
shoulder
everything.
pain, your hip pain, your thigh pain, your foot pain that you don't have.
Okay, I got a lot of wiener pain. What's your... And it's not like that. No, I don't mean it like that. You're shaking your head. No, hold on a second. Let me explain myself. My point is that I have a lot of like groin pain just from doing a lot of leg stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, your feet are beat up.
Yeah, well, my feet are beat up, my groin is beat up, and it's deep too. Like when I massage my own butt, like I can feel it. It's like in my hip bone. It's like those tiny little muscles like deep in your hip.
And I could show you some spots.
That sounds like fucking. So, hey, we throw this bottle of whiskey in there, dude. We're fucking. That's a Saturday night, man. You know what I'm saying?
So we have done cryo in that region,
in the groin area, like because I don't want to get like provocative about it. Obviously, you want to be but it's really similar to like masseuse. Like when a masseuse like genuinely works on an athlete. Excuse me. When a masseuse works on an athlete, like their groin's gonna be messed up. Especially if they're a on-foot athlete, like a football player, soccer player, et cetera, et cetera. Like, you have to, like, get weird in their groin area. You know what I mean? So, like, what do you guys do about that, I guess? That's a strange question, I know. But
I hear you. But majority of what the treatment's going to end up like when you have that groin pain area is going to be much into your feet.
Really?
Start with your feet. Yeah.
Really?
And I will work my way up to the problem areas, but typically starting with your foot, even with a shoulder pain, is going to change your life.
That's crazy. And then so you switch tips in this video.
Right. That is a flat iron is what I call it. I had to chill it out, so I gave him a little nipple freeze. And then
was that a nipple freeze?
Yeah, through that shirt. But we just go ahead and rub the areas and make sure that the adipose tissue is moving.
So this is like a flat plate that just gets ice cold.
Absolutely.
So what the irons do is it gives you a slight lymph massage. It sort of pushes the cold and keeps it cold, and it also flattens out the scarring. It will do that for you, and it also does a slight lymph massage. So we always, whenever we use the flat iron, we always move the tool towards the heart because your lymph,
the massage, cold,
right?
Lymphatic massage that you're witnessing.
Dude, I gotta say, dude, you're an excellent videograph model. Like you're fucking, you look really good right here, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you.
And again, ladies, $25 will get you a date.
Well, I've been talking about getting a boyfriend for a couple of weeks on this show now, so I'm thinking if dude is on the market much longer,
that'll be $25.
Whatever, dude. Flat rate, or is it like recurring? Is it like a subscription?
Every time, yeah, subscription.
Every time what, dude?
Every time you go on a date with them.
Every date.
You made that sound way provocative.
Every date gets more expensive, though.
I'm really intrigued by it, though. So, like, we only got to see three of the tips tonight.
Well, yeah, they're switching out a different tip. Technically, we saw 4 tips, right? Because you did a different tip when you aired his nipples.
Right.
4. We got to see 4. You're right.
So this next tip, you said, is this the gold tip?
No, this is
the
a
big
cone.
Nozzle. Yeah, the big
Okay,
cone.
okay.
And actually, this is a small one. You can buy a bigger one for this tool that will treat horses a little bit easier through the hair and get them cold to where the swelling will go down. That's
we're doing ponies now? We're doing ponies?
This is the human. You got the human size cone.
So I could definitely take swelling down off of any animal.
Have you ever been called to like Ellis Park?
No.
Or
not yet.
Not
yet.
Great idea.
We'd be happy to.
I did treat my daughter's goat. They were going to brick the goat because apparently it had a smashed leg. She put it in a cast.
Damn.
A couple weeks after that, you could still see the knuckle really swollen. The cast came off. I seen it. I went and got my gear immediately. I wasn't doing anything. I felt, compassion. Wanted to help the goat out. The goat was, a little jumpy first 10 seconds, and then,
loved it.
Loved it. By the end of the treatment, it was all good.
So when you're doing this stuff like muscles and everything along those lines, like, is there a certain like when you go to anatomy or whatever, do you have to do it a certain way? Like if you're going with the muscle, do you have to go like along the line of the muscle?
If you go across the grain, much like sanding wood, I don't know that you're going to have a lot of problems depending upon your individual. Okay. So much like carving out abs, you're a fairly athletic guy. Once you get to that point, you can't quite get that, whatever off. We can cut those abs for you. And what you do is cut with the muscle. So you do spray with the muscle to get to enhance.
You're focusing a lot on like the striation of the muscle.
Right.
So basically you have the knowledge of the anatomy of like, okay,
absolutely.
The rectus femoris runs north and south. So we're going to cut this up and down.
And why the video is still available to be on screen, when you're airing down the back of the neck.
Vagus nerve.
What's that do?
Well, it controls all kinds of things. This young man probably doesn't need much of his vitality changed, but it doesn't.
Is that penis stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
The vagus nerve increases everything. Your digestive tract. He'll probably sleep better too.
Okay.
Hey, prices just went up on them dates. $30 per date. My boy out here getting it right. Sorry, I got excited and my voice.
Yeah, you got to chill out, dude. You're going to blow
I was
the
at
listeners'
$5 more
ears
a
out.
date, dog. I was excited.
What? So we're going to $30 a date now?
Yeah, boy. He's getting enhanced.
We'll sell you the whole seat, but you only need the edge. No, dude, you're on the market now, dude. This is borderline prostitution. We're going to have to move to Montana or wherever it is he was talking about earlier, dude.
Anyways.
Yeah, this is getting off
So
the
you're
fucking
saying
rails.
So like how did learning about this start? So you invest and you get the equipment.
Right.
Right.
You do the training up to that
Then
point.
you got so did you do a bunch of like online training to learn how to use the equipment?
Absolutely.
So we did. Yes, we did have to train with the tool, and then obviously we brought in family friends. Started working on
get Uncle Gary in there and be like, hey, line it up, buddy. You're patient zero.
First day on the job.
Well, what was that like though?
He still can't feel his pinky. We don't know. No, I'm just joking. I'm just teasing. I'm only teasing, guys.
We're going to go about 12 hours here at negative 225.
It's not that bad though. Like I had that you guys were working on Duda, man. They put it on my wrist and I was just like, you can keep it there all day. Like it was cool. It was not
for a little bit.
Yeah.
So that is the
2-3 minutes.
Yeah, that was like the baby setting though, because we spoke about Duda being very sensitive. So we can go much more hardcore than that though, right?
Absolutely.
Really? Okay.
And it really doesn't take that much to make you feel good though.
You can take off the full. You can leave it without a regulator on it, without a tip on it, and go full bore. So typically that's on a larger person with a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
She said
fatty
full bore.
Adipose tissue.
Okay.
You can go. You can go without a tip at all. The green tip is the most aggressive tip that we have.
That. I like a good green tip.
Then the black tip is what we use for almost all areas. It's the
it quickly cools people to 30 degrees, which is what we're looking for.
Skin temp.
Yeah, well, absolutely. The skin temp is what we're talking about. But as you only experience 2-3 seconds of that,
yes,
2 minutes worth, it actually gets into the joint itself.
Oh, you're going deep. Yeah.
Yes.
And it changes the circulation in that problem area that you have. That increases the circulation and gets rid of the problem majority of the time.
So what was the research like? So like you had to learn to use the equipment, but I'm sure you had to do like research different levels, all the different things it could do, because I'm sure a thigh is different than a face. And
Absolutely. It's mostly self-research that we do. We also belong to some groups where we share information with other, cryotherapy business owners, and we talk very freely. There is like a camaraderie. There's not a competition in this group. So we're able to, sort of share how, I have a person that has this. How did you go about, has anybody treated this, and how did you go about it? So we sort of share the process.
And a lot of times detoxing yourself from an infrared sauna is what you do. Wim Hof even ran across the desert, no water.
Right. No water, no shirt.
So what about like, is there much scholarly, are there many peer-reviewed articles? Are there good scholarly sources on this stuff, or is it still so new that it's just like...
PubMed doesn't know who we are yet.
There is starting to be.
There's starting to
some.
be. Okay, that's
there
good.
is some out there.
I find it interesting that a lot of these things aren't into. So like we did an episode last night that might air, might not air by the time this airs, on just our random tabs that we had open, and I would search like, can you eat dandelions, and like all the different benefits.
And you can, by the way, just for the record, I know you're wondering, you can.
And so all the different benefits and everything that they have.
Actually, there are a lot of benefits to dandelions.
And we were going through and talking about all that and everything that falls into that, and getting your like a detox of some sorts going, and just all the benefits of those things. But like learning about this and all the benefits that it can bring and all the different aspects, like you were saying, like it's just, I'm sure it was overwhelming at first.
The benefits are obviously, the pain reduction. Ice is old technology, right? We've iced injuries forever. So ice, what we do is a lot faster.
It's straight to the exact point.
It's straight to the exact thing. You don't have to put your entire leg into a bucket of ice. We can go directly to your calf or your knee or whatever.
Groin.
Exactly.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's jacked up down there. It's just a damn train wreck. It's like 9 hobos and a Prius,
I was walking like
dude.
I broke my right leg this week. I was swinging it wide like
you ever
every
see that
step.
movie? You know what I'm talking about? The 9 hobos in a Prius? The other guys?
Yeah, Dirty Mike and the boys.
That's what my groin is right now, dude. It's a fucking mess, dude. Like, because I run miles and miles.
Well, like, I wanted to know, like, how did you learn about from, like, excuse me, beer burp, facial stuff to, like you said, like, chiseling out muscle tones and stuff like that? Was that, like, all in the beginning process?
Yeah,
it's all in the beginning process. This tool is,
training,
without a doubt, 1 to 1 million jobs it offers.
What was one of the scary parts about starting a business? Because like there's a lot of people out there that have like good ideas, but they're just afraid to pull the trigger. You know what I mean? And like there had to be a point where you were like, this is it. Like it's this or nothing, or this, or I'm going to restart and find something different. It's.
Yeah, there is risk in starting a business. There's just so much, you don't know. Especially with something as new as this technology is, bringing it, and especially
oh my God, I can't imagine,
to this area.
Yeah.
You can take this technology to a place that's a little bit more progressive. Obviously you read where people in Hollywood clear back in I don't know what year.
Yeah, I mean,
we're going and doing cryotherapy. It was a big thing,
craze, and
it's sort of stayed that way with that. But this area, it's not as big. It's not as
that kind of goes back to
understood.
Knowing your neighbor, knowing your tribe. Tribes during exploration of the earth definitely grouped around more plentiful sources. And if they found there was healing sources, much like a hot and cold springs that we don't live next to, what do? You got to find an infrared. And you got to find somebody with a localized cryotherapy tool to get to those spots that hurt.
Yeah, and then so I can see there's kind of like this strange dichotomy of like know your neighbor type, like let's stay near natural resources. So like, but then so you would almost think that like in a smaller city, like it would be more lucrative almost, right? Don't you think? Like if it's a more of a tribe driven thing. So do you think that something like this is harder to take off in a larger metropolitan area? And I mean, again, I like
Absolutely.
I like to refer to Evansville as a larger metro area because there really is like 250,000 people.
There's 250,000 people
in this central area, and arguably 300,000 if we're including Warwick County, Posey County, and then like everybody in north and south. If you count Henderson,
I think we do count Henderson.
Yeah, I mean,
250.
you know what I mean? Because they're right there. They're shopping at your Walmart. I see them, dude. They're out there in the Trans Am with the wife beaters on. I get it, dude. You know what I mean? Like it's just right across that money saving bridge,
right?
So do you? To answer my question, I guess, do you think that it's harder to take off in a bigger metro area as opposed to if we did this in like Wyoming? See, there's like a weird dichotomy. You know what I mean? There's a weird dichotomy.
Ice to Eskimos anywhere you go, especially during winter.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem. As soon as they hear cryotherapy,
he's out for you, dude. There's blood in the water, bro. He's out for you.
What they do, they kind of run because it's like, holy cow, what is going on?
I do not need cold. Do you? Have you been outside?
Okay, so
I don't want that cold.
Dude had this cryotherapy that we offer, and just backside of neck, I'm sure he felt a little bit of warmth about 5 minutes after a 30-second blast.
It'll warm you up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you feel abnormally warm. It gets endorphins going.
He's healing up right now, dude. He's smiling ear to ear, dude.
Life changes, man. Life changes when you're out of pain.
I remember what I was going to say when I brought up dandelions before my chronic memory loss took into effect. But I was going to say that, like, so the dandelions, they were talking about how there was not a lot of research, but, like, how it does help with all this stuff, you know, remedies, like, you know, word to word to word. But I was going to say, like, well, you were talking about big pharma and all that stuff, and then we were talking about we were talking about, like, other medicines and stuff that, like, haven't been necessarily research by those companies. And that's what, like, you were talking about is, like,
it's more anecdotal than
Right.
there is the hard science at this point. There is starting to be hard science around cryotherapy because it is starting to grow as an industry.
I mean, I think records like Wim Hof breaks so many records where, like, they put him in the ice bath and he was able to keep his body at, like, normal body temperature for 2 hours. You know, that's insane. And, like, these people are coming in like Goggins who can, you know, just keep pushing his brain to, you know, go farther. Or even back to Wim Hof climbing Everest in swim trunks. Like, dude. But it's
Cleats
like
and backpack, and David Goggins running with Cameron Haynes marathon a day or so. What they're doing, man, you're insane to do that.
Goggins did a marathon, so like 26 miles or whatever
a day. That's what he was just saying.
Yeah, well, no, but I'm telling you, I was just listening to a specific interview, and he was talking about how he did a marathon, like a 26-mile marathon, no big deal. Like you were saying, he does them every day, and then turned around and did an ultra. Like, same week, it was like within a couple days of each other. He did a marathon, you know, drank some water, took a knee, put some salt on his fucking elbows, and his nipples were probably still bleeding. And then he was like, all right, I'm off to this ultra, 200 plus fucking miles. I'm like, dude, I'm
all for you guys doing that stuff. I'm not going to do it. I don't have that kind of ambition being the age I am.
It's brutal.
So I was going to say, you guys just did a wrestling event. Am I correct? Or what was that event?
Boxing down in Bowling Green.
Helping the boxers. So how many athletics do you think that, like, reach out to you? Is it like a?
There's a few more. We're getting.
It's starting to, in this area.
Everything's starting to kind of open back up.
Absolutely.
People are like, I think people are realizing, like, more of like what's out there. What can make me feel better about my day to day?
Changes your microbiome. So that's one of the things. Our trainer wouldn't even take Lortab after she broke her arm and was doing this tool through a cast just to get the coldness on that broken arm. So really, post-trauma is a great time. Pre-trauma, if you know you got surgery. But really, so you don't have to have all these other things in your body that changes your whole being.
We were talking a little bit outside before the show about microbiome. And it's crazy that a lot of people don't know, but like 80% of what's you is actually just like your it's a microbiome of microorganisms that really aren't even, they're you, but they're not really you. And it controls everything from
they're
your
like cousins,
inside.
Dude. They're like cousins. They live a couple trailers down from you. You know what I'm saying? Like they're part of you, but also at the same time, like, leave it alone, dude. Like,
it's like your first brain, because if you feel good,
that's a better explanation. First brain. Yeah.
They were actually saying that your brain is actually connected to your heart and your stomach, and all three work in sync in a way. But like, I'm big on my diet right now. You know, in order to get like your abs more in, you got to like go super strict, no sugar, more fat, everything along those lines. Yeah, but I mean, we got some for a guest, and I need to drink it because I don't know anybody else that's going to drink PBR.
Well, he also heard that you were from Wyoming before, so he was like, I better step my trailer park game up. No, I'm just joking. I'm still kind of hurt that you don't listen to Garth Brooks. Like, I'm a little upset about that. I thought we were going to have like a bonding experience.
Well, I'll take Garth Brooks over, nothing playing at all.
Okay, fair enough.
I do like Garth.
So you don't like
fair
sitting in
enough.
silence?
I'll take that. I'll take that.
I'd let out yeehaw.
Thank you. Amen. And God bless you for that.
You don't ever like just sit in silence and think to yourself, kind of like that meditation state? No. What about you? Do you ever find yourself just like sitting in silence, Susan?
I do meditate. Yes.
Yeah.
On a daily basis.
You think it brings you that clarity that you need?
I don't know. I don't know that I'm an advanced meditator. I'm learning. I'm trying to, and I know that one of the things in meditation is to sort of empty your brain, just focus on your breathing. And so I do that. And, there are people like Joe Dispenza or, other folks that say, you get your enlightenment from doing that.
Ram Dass.
Ram Dass.
So is that a computer system or?
No, Ram Dass is an actual human. He was a professor.
Guru. Back in the 60s. Man,
he experimented with psychedelics.
Good stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Ram Dass. I'm going to have to look into this fella for
RAM, is it DASS?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, basically every single person out there could use this. You could find a use for every single person.
For cryo, yeah. We were talking about the benefits. One is obviously the pain management, the, ice is old therapy. Secondly, it helps with skin tightening, because what we've done to the area that we've treated is we've put your body into shock, and your body then tries to rescue itself by sending heat. It enlarges the blood vessels in the area that gets treated. And also, while it's doing that, your body is trying to repair the skin. So it's depositing collagen and elastin to the area. And
collagen's huge for recovery. I've been taking a collagen supplement for after my workouts on the longer ones, and it's done wonders for my recovery. But it
helps with athletic recovery. So not only does it, give you pain relief, but injury recovery, scar tissue. It helps to reduce the appearance of scars. We've done, the
acne.
Frotox facial. Yeah, will reduce the sort of the inflammation, inflamed acne. It will calm that acne. It will calm rosacea. It will
eczema.
Yeah, we do the facials and fat freezing. So when we concentrate on a specific area, we can reduce fat in that area.
Now,
kind of like what he was talking about with the abs.
Yes. That's exactly it. So we have a lot of women, recent moms, they've, lost the weight after baby weight. They want to get rid of that last little bit. And that's what we're perfect for.
And we did. Well, I was going to interrupt real quick, Thomas. We did wind up looking up Guru Ram Dass. It's RAMDAS, and 24th of September, 1534 to 1st of September, 1581. Yeah, so this is a long ass time ago.
No, not this guy. This is like a different Ram Dass.
Oh,
so
that's
must
the
be
wrong
the
one.
original OG right there.
Yeah, that's the original. And
Yeah,
I think Ram Dass changed his name to be the same as this original.
Oh, that
Guru.
checks out. Yeah, because all his stuff was like lining up with.
So look at that, the DASS.
Yeah, look up DASS.
That's him.
There you go.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah,
Yeah. Died.
Richard Alpert.
Yeah. He died December 22nd, 2019. So just recently. Dang.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aged 88 when he passed away. And we're looking at, if you're watching on the YouTube, you're seeing this right now. Was an American spiritual teacher, guru, modern yoga, psychologist, and author. Those are some serious credentials. His best-selling book, 1971, Be Here Now. Yeah, man, he looks like a crazy cat, though, for sure. You know what I mean? Like, look at that pic. He just looks like he didn't waste a single day on this earth.
So he and I think it was Timothy Leary were some of the original. They experimented. They're Harvard professors. I think they were eventually, set aside, or they were, kicked out of.
And these are like constituents of DOS?
Yeah, I think he and Timothy Leary did research on psychedelics.
Amen.
And
Let's go.
And Ram Dass, he went and did a lot of spiritual, learning. He learned the Eastern philosophies and spirituality. I'm still learning about Ram Dass.
So I was gonna say, from going into like getting all this, and everybody can use it, whether you're a mom that just had kids, whether you're
Cryo,
yeah.
Back to
Cryo.
Cryo.
Guys, he's trying. He's fucking trying. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. I'm the first one to crucify you.
Yeah, I know.
And you sound.
I'll rise.
And we talked about this before the show, and I'm gonna just let it rip. You sound retarded.
I know.
And I'm not ashamed to use that word. I'm very pro dropping the hard R. So you're watch it, dude.
I know.
Cryo.
Okay, but I'm just saying.
CPR.
Yeah, CPR.
CPR. Call it
so
CPR.
Using CPR, anybody can use CPR. Whether you've got bad acne, whether you're doing men's physique, like those, like Glenn Ubler and all them, like they could probably use it for their body comps.
Yeah, we do treat a bodybuilder.
Boxers, I'm sure they get a cut and they want their, no fighter. Mike Tyson, I was watching an interview with him and he's talking about how many other fighters have no scars on their face. Like, one of the things that made him the best was he was learning how not to get hit. You know what I mean? And that upbringing and everything along those lines. But boxers and anybody that has scar tissue on their face or wherever it may be, like you said, a scar that you had on your arm shrank miraculously in size.
Amazing amount, because it pushed out the coagulated blood that sits inside that scar. And you're forcing it to move, so it heals that area.
And that's just insane.
Depositing the collagen, elastin that tightens and rejuvenates the skin. Yep.
So I did treat a gentleman that, man, I got to tell you, I'm not even going to go into his story, but he got impaled into his left hand, your clutch hand.
Jesus.
Right.
And, we weren't at a bike rally. He didn't just ride his new bike there having a problem with this, but he did. Rename nameless. He had a divot in his wrist. I've got pictures. It filled in within just 5 minutes.
That's insane.
And he could use his clutch way better.
That's insane.
Thank God it was hydraulic.
And I did want to...
Yeah, and not cable. Yeah, damn. Dude.
I did want to touch on the fact that you guys do house calls, right? If need be, for those people that are...
Mobile is what we're going to be doing. So if you need us, we'll go to your house. You don't have to worry about COVID in our house. We'll just worry about us in your house.
And I'm assuming you guys you're taking full precaution as far as like if somebody were like, hey, can you come to my house, but I'd like you to wear a mask, or hey, can you come to my house, or
be happy to wear a mask if he needs to.
Okay,
yes.
Good. So you guys are meeting guidelines
Respectful.
or whatever. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. So upon request. So that's huge, man, because there's a lot of folks out there that are just like scared if the wind blows or something. I don't know.
Absolutely.
And I'm one of those people, honestly, dude. I heard a branch hit the side of the house. I almost pissed myself the other night.
Glock locked.
Yeah, dude. I'm strapped all the time, dude. I'm ready to go. So I almost put one through the drywall.
Right.
Seriously.
I believe it.
I'll drop you.
So,
I'm glad I was here for that.
Dude, I don't know what you want from me, bro. I'm raw unleaded, baby. I'm raw unleaded.
So I was gonna say, what are some things that you think everybody should know? Like that needs what does the world need to know about?
So I actually have on my blog on a website some FAQs to
Where
help
can I find your blog at?
It's cryoprecisionrepair.com.
Which I think we're there.
This is it.
You're
Okay.
there.
And you go on to the top right where it says blog.
Yeah, I got some frequently asked questions.
I thought this was like your private blog. That's why I asked. I'm so sorry. That's such a redundant question, but
wow, you can see a lot of difference.
Yeah,
huge amount of difference.
Yes. So we have a lot of befores and afters on our website as well, and we have so many that we just have not had the time to share as well. But this tool has just been amazing.
We need a Duda.
You do. Let me tell you how integral or how vital, rather, Duda is.
I see it.
Dude, I highly suggest you go back like 10 episodes from now and just watch one where I'm doing everything that he's doing, and it's fucking Nightmare Town. It's like trying to run all of this and then have a fluent conversation and not sound like a fucking... You get
a lot more dead time.
You gotta shout out Mr. Day-Dose.
Yeah, my brother is actually in the back corner over here, guys, and he's running all the video tonight. So big shout out to the video producer. Thank you so much, dude. You're beautiful and thanked, and I wish your beard was longer. That's where I'm at on that.
So
and then we scroll down a little bit, and then what do we got? What are some of the big hitters here?
So we talk about who is a good candidate for cryotherapy, and obviously, if you go to FAQ number 6,
go down one more, dude.
Scroll down just
there
a little
you go.
Bit. You can see we prefer not to treat pregnant women,
right?
Unless the doctor specifically recommends it. Since the difference between us and the cryo tank is that we can still treat leg, foot, arm on
very
a pregnant
local
woman.
Maybe like a lower back pain from carrying the weight.
Exactly. But we want to make sure that they clear it through their doctor first.
Absolutely. And we do not do cryoablation. If you need it done, we can work on it, like warts, skin tags, that sort of thing.
Oh, okay. That's what you mean by that. Like freezing stuff off.
Absolutely.
Yes,
That's your doctor sort of thing. We can do it.
We don't get that cold.
Painful. We don't do it, but we can.
Okay.
So
like full certification and everything, the whole bit,
that's
right?
That's a little bit different. You're playing with your body to a degree that
you're removing
really
something.
Us,
yeah.
know?
No,
can I get a glass of teats and some lemonade and some ice real fast while I hit you guys with... So we're scrolling through here. Is there anything else that you think that like people should definitely know or like check out? Because I know I can't...
There had 5 kids.
Yeah.
Go down, dude.
FAQ
number 4.
Number 4, yeah.
Wow.
She's a yoga teacher.
That takes care of herself.
And you can see on the right is the before.
Hello
and
there.
On the left you can see the carved out abs.
Wow. That's
hello,
amazing.
ma'am. Hello.
Yeah, and I actually live not too far from you guys, so I definitely might have to stop in. So I want to ask real quick about like, do you guys offer like packages or anything along those lines or anything like that? That's good. As well, are you good? Do for another?
Sure.
Ready for round
that's kind of
two,
another reason
I'm the official and unofficial bartender of
we rotate
the Days Grimm, also the west side of Evansville, also
best podcast in Evansville.
Yeah, number 1 podcast in Evansville, and the She Lounge.
So basically, when Brian goes to pour that vodka in there, you'll just have to tell him when. But so I was gonna say, like,
was it an 8 count?
No, I
bottle here.
I only do 10 counts. No, I'm just joking. Say when, sir.
That works.
All right.
So I was gonna say, basically, yeah, I live close by, but I was gonna say, so like Josh, the float place, they offer like a package or anything along those lines. Do you guys offer any packages, or like what's the pricing look like for dude wanting to get his next 2 facials, or Brian getting his groin done?
So occasionally we offer a special on the facials where we'll do a 3-pack for $99. So you should watch for that. And a lot of times the best results come somewhere between 5 and 10 sessions for the fat freezing. Usually fat freezing the facial to get the look that you're looking for, and we sell packs,
especially
5 and 10 packs.
Older generation, 50 and up. Me, I've done Frotox 3 times on my face, of which I look pretty good. I'm all right.
I think you're a very I hesitate to say attractive man, because again, I am looking for a boyfriend. So I don't want you to think that I don't want you to think I'm coming on to you.
Okay.
Cool. So I have to preface.
Good guy too.
I have to preface with
that.
that.
Your Mustang outside?
Thank you. Gang on the back.
Yeah.
Gang.
What does that mean?
Somehow I knew that.
It's a reference. So my license plate is a reference to trap music, and it's a genre of music in which Duda could probably explain it better than me, but not for obvious reasons, but for other reasons. No, but it's trap music is like music all about gang, drugs, and like violence, and I'm into that. So,
okay.
No, I'm just teasing, dude. Relax. You know I love you, dude.
So as I was leading into,
you're a good-looking man. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. That's what I was leading into.
I haven't done my neck very much, but I can tell you the neck and face.
That's a big one.
Is what we suggest for a Benjamin Button special. Amen, bro.
I've seen that fucking movie, bro.
But I will say, I would have never pegged you for. You said above 50.
Yeah.
I would have never pegged you for above 50. I would have said somewhere in the 40s.
Absolutely. Thank you. And that's part of doing the Wim Hof breathing thing. And, take care of yourself and have a tool that you can take care of yourself with.
Seriously, man.
So what are the kind of packages, like pricing range? Like what somebody expects to kind of fall into?
Do we want to talk numbers? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to be interested in the product.
Fair enough. We want to make sure that's affordable, and that's why we offer, what we do, $45 for a start of an area, and then like your abs up there, we went all the way around, so the sides would be another 20, then the back would be another 20.
Obliques. If you add on obliques to the abs, you're talking 20, and then if you add on the back, which we call the full wrap, that's another 20. So it's an $85 to do a full wrap.
So like Brian over here, where I would want to start, and it would be a $45 session. Mm-hmm. He talks about his growing. I would start with his feet and then work to the growing, of which he would feel like a new man tomorrow.
I fucking hope so. Oh, dude. It's like two blind kids at a quinceañera just beat the shit out of me thinking I was a piñata, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's just fucking awful all the time.
So a little bit bigger individual that requires more time, more gas. You get into an hour session long. Mm-hmm. We would do like a 2-3 areas, that they'll build up into $100 real easy for an hour long. Session.
And how often do you recommend? So like this ab program, what was the extent of time on that? Would you recommend
it's about weekly intervals?
Weekly intervals.
Usually, because we also like to see when you're freezing fat, when you're actually killing the fat, you want to give your body time to eliminate the fat that we've just killed
appropriately. Yeah.
Right. That's why, we also have a vibration plate that we'll put you on immediately after cryo.
We didn't bring that.
Yeah. And
sorry, Duda.
You're sexy enough, man.
Would we put his face on the plate?
There we go.
Do you put a face on the plate?
You're on a fucking pedestal tonight, dude. You better be fucking riding high.
Yeah, even after.
Dude.
So you'll put
even after a Frotox, we'll have you stand on the vibration plate.
So you stand on this thing.
Yeah, it gives you sort of a mild vibration. It engages your lymph system to help you remove,
your abs. We can get HGH release out of this thing for you at higher levels.
Yes.
I like that. I like to do do you have like a Los Angeles setting?
What do you mean? Like Los Angeles setting?
Like a Los Angeles earthquake setting? Because that's what I'd be ready for.
No, but as you get off, you might think you're in an earthquake.
I'm cool with that.
It definitely messes with your equilibrium.
Yeah, like how you proprioception.
Do you guys do sessions for just the vibrating plate?
Sure. If you want.
What you want.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If that's what you want.
I don't know if that's what I want. I don't know what I want.
Honestly, we need to talk to the vendor for our
cut of these vibration.
Yeah,
plates.
because we've sold so many of them.
Oh, I can go buy one.
You guys are selling them like hotcakes, huh?
Well,
we
not
personally. The float.
Yeah,
and
same with floats. We've sold a lot of floats.
$200, man.
Well, hey, we're gonna talk more about that after the show, but moreover, so we talked about the ab treatment. You're doing this a couple of times a week?
Once a week?
Once a week?
Yeah,
preferably once a week. If you're really fit and healthy and you drink a lot of water, you're able to excrete the fat that we just killed, then we can maybe do it a little bit more often, but preference is
like the
once
gap
a week.
Timing, like, okay, so I get it done, do I wait another week and then I can go back in and get it done again?
Yep.
Absolutely. Yep. So weekly. If you're just busting a move out of the gate, starting your workouts over again, and you're that super sore, you might want to see us every 2-3 days.
Right. I was gonna say I get paid every 2 weeks. I was thinking like every 2 weeks, maybe like a sort of
pain.
It'll take longer.
Yeah, you might want to come more often for pain, at least initially until the pain starts to.
What are some of the? I know there's like patient like HIPAA FERPA, like patient confidentiality stuff, but like, can you talk about like the weirdest request maybe you've ever had? Is that okay? Can we flounder around that? Can we
I don't
flop?
think we've had any really truly weird requests.
Like
No, we haven't had any Brian's over there that are just
Like
out of this
ass,
world.
ice my ass.
Dude, just like up to my near my wiener hurts, like up into the like
just-
up. Do you know?
Do you have a thong?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's right
It's
up here.
hanging on
Well, you
Pablo.
put it on. We'll work around that area.
That's fair.
And,
That's fair.
and we'll make that
That's
area
fair.
fine. Not
And if you have any like Asian therapists that maybe are like available.
So I was gonna
No.
say before
So-
Brian gets too carried away in that aspect. Was there ever a moment?
Male, of course. Male, of course. Come on.
Was there ever a moment on this like journey of like opening this and seeing all this progress and everything? But like, was there ever a moment where you were just like, man, I'm done. I'm tired of this. Like,
No.
Quitting time.
No.
This keeps on giving.
That- or-
Because
No.
as everybody knows, and Bob Proctor would say, as you give, you receive. Just by giving, knowing that you're giving, you're receiving.
I was gonna say like when COVID first hit, like, and was there ever a period of time where you're like, I might lose this?
What? So
we actually started like
Sweated.
mid-COVID, so we're gangbusters for it, regardless of we're doing this, COVID, no COVID, no
that's what
matter
I'm talking about, dude.
the world, because people. I mean, we talked about my story, my little brother, and I think
Yeah.
try not to cry here. If I had this tool to help him get out of pain, would he still be here today?
Right.
We obviously would have had some, addiction recovery because he was, on opiates, but
It would have been easy because he wasn't in pain, though. That's the thing. That's the thing right there. So those pills are cheap and easy, but they cause so much life damage around everybody.
Yeah, man,
It's-
it's a sensitive topic, and my condolences again. I can't. It claims so many people, and it's and if you've seen Dope Stick, it brings a whole new light to it. It's
The,
sickening.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. But so aside from that, so if
That might actually be. So basically, this question is sent to be like,
Yeah,
what was
that's
your
what I was trying to
what was
get
your
to.
darkest moment for you? I'm sure it may have been your little brother passing, but like, what pushed you through that moment? What kept you going? What kept fuel on your fire? Like when you found this, was that like was that like your light, and then you were like, oh
Yeah.
my goodness,
Yes.
I could have changed all this stuff, and that's why I'm doing it. Or
yes,
That's
yes.
it.
If there's somebody else's little brother that, we can give some alternative pain relief to, that's what brings us joy.
And then-
that is where the joy is.
And then obviously, Jeremy, I'm sorry. I know I don't want to bother you while you're choking up over there. I get it. This is unimaginable. But what do you think for you was like the hardest time? You know what I mean? And helped you push through something like that. You know what I mean? As far as like with anything, like, or more specifically with cryo, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
Would it be that answer for the both of you? You think is your main driving force?
Well, I know how easy it would have been to turn to meds, how much pain I was in. And that's why I just kept looking and doing the yoga, doing alternative, looking to do anything else other than those meds. And finally, God put me on a path.
It
he's
sounds
very empathic towards, folks.
yeah, I'm
pain.
I'm choking up here myself. It's just it's a crazy sensitive thing, and it's crazy that they push these things on people when there is alternative sources out there, and that they could just inform people of these situations, or inform these alternative solutions. Like Brian's ex-military, and a lot of those people struggle with PTSD and everything along those lines, and
exactly.
they just prescribe them a heavy benzo or something along those
Exactly.
lines, and these people are
And
walking
they walk away
right.
for days, come in, check on you a couple weeks later. Man, you're done a different person by the time you check back in.
Right.
Yep. And then 3 weeks goes by before their next appointment, and then maybe they're late or they don't show up, and it's like, well, what happened? Oh, well, homeboy.
They forgot what to do because they disconnected their brain from their body with those pills. That's what's going on there. That's what they designed them to do, to block the receptors
They're
coming to the
blockers.
brain so you don't feel the pain.
Yeah, and it honestly is like I know a couple of my buddies post deployment,
Thank you for your service.
No worries. No, and that's
I have two sons that were deployed.
That's not what I'm fishing for, but I get it.
I have a heart for that as well.
I never know what to say to people when they say thank you for your service, so it's always so awkward for me because like it wasn't that big a deal.
Like, it was a summer vacation. I got to shoot some people.
I got to hang out for a long time and just like chew a lot of tobacco. You know what I'm saying? But like. But yeah, I got a couple of buddies that like really severely, the PTSD really hit them hard enough that they eventually took themselves. And I mean, like, they're on meds. Like, there's no way around it. Like, you can fight the devil face to face, or you can fight the devil with a blanket over your face. But either way, it's like you got to fight the devil at some point. So I mean, like, and I think that what you're doing here is really, really relative in that, like, I mean, we're not necessarily talking about the physical devil, but we're talking about pain. Say pain is the devil, or like your adipose tissue is the devil, or your psychological state is the devil. Like, you just have to like come to terms with the fact that that's just there, and it's time to. You know what I mean? If the lights are off,
keep standing back up.
It's time to go. So how are you going to fight it? Are you going to fight it with a blanket over your head, or are you going to fight it face to face?
And a lot of these people are thrown in with no choice. You know, it gets pushed on them by a doctor, and they don't get explained.
Absolutely.
Well, that's all that insurance. I mean, you have these pharmaceutical companies that push it to the insurance. That's all the insurance will allow the medical doctors to prescribe. You know, we have folks come to us; they're in pain. Cryotherapy is not approved by the FDA at this point as a therapy. We are allowed in some instances to do that. Some people are able to get reimbursed by their insurance company, but we don't bill directly at this point. It's still that new that it doesn't that. So the alternative is, I can't afford this therapy, so I'm going to go get a pill.
And then like Jeremy was saying, like you guys are working diligently is what it sounds like to me. And with a very
we have got the cost as low as we can possibly get it. Alternative therapies, we are, just
as competitive as can be, honestly.
Yes.
And then that's the best that you can do. And I get it. Like, you have to keep the lights on. That's understandable as well. Like you have to.
We're not getting rich here.
As much as people are chasing vanity with the athletic gear, just your outfit, you could come see us once. I mean, come on, man.
Right.
Yoga pants are tighten up, but.
And I feel like a lot of people need to try these experiences out. Like, dude, he had this experience this one time, and I guarantee you he'll probably come see you guys again. You know what I mean? And
I'm sure.
and word of mouth is key. And just like
the fact is that his problem spots are going to be frozen and gone. It'll be something that the body can't quite get rid of, and it's trying to get rid of it. That's his microbiome getting rid of something, little blotchy here, there. All that stuff is from your microbiome. And have you guys seen Dr. Rhonda Patrick or any of these other Jordan Peterson where they have reset their autoimmune diseases?
Oh, yeah. I've seen Jordan Peterson talk about that a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 days of starvation changes everything. Yeah.
Fasting.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, fasting.
Come back in with some probiotics.
I haven't eaten since Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying it out right now. I'm just kidding. I do fast.
So you look colorful, man.
I fast like abnormally long periods of time. No, but yeah, there's a lot of intriguing research being done. There's a lot of, like we were talking about earlier, scholarly articles that are dropping every day from what I'm seeing.
Yes.
And then like you're saying, you know what I mean? There's a lot of work to be done here, but then there's also a lot of like proven hard work that we just saw with the frequently asked questions.
The anecdotal evidence is out there.
No, absolutely.
Right. We have pictures even. We just don't have the clinical setting, with the double-blind testing.
I just feel like not enough eyes are there yet, and they're opening. More and more people are seeing this stuff and getting interested in this stuff and learning the benefits of this stuff that like didn't know it before.
He can't say cryo, so he just keeps saying stuff. Also, guys, if you're only listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, again, we're talking about cryoprecisionrepair.com. That's where all those FAQs were at, that you can see the befores and afters and all the frequently asked questions that we're talking about today. So get on there. That's cryoprecisionrepair.com. I guess for the listeners or the viewers, what advice do you have for somebody that's like getting out there and like really they're at that moment where you were, maybe they don't have the bank account that you had. Financially, they're not supported enough. So take that into consideration in your answer. But like, what's your advice to somebody that's like, man, I got this crushing ass idea. I'm going to pimp out Duda for, $35 a date or whatever. I'm going to make this a business, but I'm scared. What's your advice to that person?
Whew, wow.
Just like you did when we were talking about, or even Jeremy, you could answer as well, or you both can answer. But like right before
sometimes you just have to go into your meditative state, not think about what you're actually wanting to do, and see what pops in the next day. You ever taken a shower and stepped out and had that just serendipity hit you? Like, oh, I need to do this. Or, oh, I was working on a car. I left the wheel loose.
Yeah.
Okay, those clarity moments, they come along. And when you just absolutely know. I got to do this. This is what my calling
for
is.
both of us, it was just obviously the passion has to be there for it. So if you're going to start a business, if you're that dispassionate about it, it's likely, you're not going to be able to push through, especially during the hard times. But the passion that we have for this, the motivation and the drive, we're going to push through anything because we know that we have, the most cutting edge tool that's out there.
Amen.
And the good that it can do. We know the good that it can do.
Yeah, we're not some other substandard cryo industry product that leaves you lumpy, frozen. How about a burn? This tool will shut off. If I start to burn you, it shuts off.
That's awesome.
That's high speed, man. So it sounds like to me, for the both of you, really, it's kind of just like set. So your answer to the individual that's getting ready to jump off that bridge, that has an awesome idea. I want to start this business, but I'm scared. It sounds like to me from both of you, it almost has to be love of the game. You really got to love what it is that you're doing. And then essentially like
it'll grow.
Let the storm take you.
So yeah, I think if you're living your purpose, if you're living your purpose and your passion, if you've meditated on it or if you've, built that plan, you're right. You just, if it's what you're supposed to, then do it.
So where can people find you? Like we want to get, where can people find you, your website, your location, and, just whatever information you got. And then to wrap that up, last minute shout outs. These last 3 minutes are all you guys. Get your information out there and then shout out all the people that you want to shout out.
So obviously cryoprecisionrepair.com is our website. We also have a Facebook. It is Cryo Precision Repair Newburgh. We are on Instagram as well, Cryo Precision Repair Newburgh. We are mobile. So if you reach out to us, there's a section on the website. You can click book now, or there's a section where you can contact us. Just reach out to us. You can call us. You can email us. You can text us, and we'll try to work out a time. We'll try to find out what your needs are, and come and help. Come and take care.
So if you have a Bowling Green fantasy, we have kind of moved there. That's where the sauna is.
I don't think anybody fantasizes about Bowling Green.
Yeah.
That being said, who has helped either one of you or both of you get to this point? Who helped you build this, and then also who's helping you propel this thing forward? This
two
monster
that you're sitting here watching.
Yeah,
we have helped each other.
That's
we have
awesome.
helped each other. Yeah. Pretty much.
Just a real power couple. You both got like what the other person
I mentioned my
needs.
sister as well. she also went through the
Shout out CryoWorks in Florida.
Yeah, my sister Erica Kaplan, she is Rika. Rika's CryoWorks by Rika. She also started a cryo business with this tool as well. Down in Florida. She incorporates her Reiki energy healing with it.
I'm into that.
Energy. She uses the tool for energy mood boosts and to change your chakras. She's just more,
spiritual with it.
More spiritual. Yeah, but she's also been a big inspiration for us as well.
Well, I just want to say, guys, I knew nothing about this walking into it. I know that cold stuff makes inflammation go away. That's it. But you guys have brought so much to the game. This conversation has been nothing short of thrilling. And honestly, like I mean that. I have a degree in anatomy, so like I'm very enthralled by this. So seriously, I appreciate your time. I appreciate what you guys are doing. And then Duda obviously is beautiful as ever. Most beautiful I've ever seen him. So
seen his face light up, didn't you?
But I want to thank you guys for your time. An hour, 2 hours, 3 hours out of your day, that's a long time. So just thank you very much
for having us.
And thank you for everything that you guys do. And then also thank you guys, the viewers and the listeners, Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review, subscribe on YouTube, everywhere you get your pods. Just thank you guys for all that you do. God bless you. This has been another thrilling episode of the Days Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm, and I will let Brian say the name because I cannot say it.
And this has been Cryo Precision Repair. And check them out, guys. Hey, God bless.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Was it though, for real? Oh, that's nothing. We've had a 3 hour.